Hi, Sensational Sisters.
Hello.
Becca and Leslie back today. Sorry we've been MIA for a little bit. Our schedules have been crazy. We're going to keep this on track today, and we want to first start by saying we're really glad to have you. We're glad you came back to watch us again, and we hope you enjoyed the first set of videos. We've gotten some advice on keeping them a little shortened so that you're not sitting on your entire lunch break watching us, although that's okay too. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the power of the spoken word, and if you received our newsletter this week, Blessing and Gratitude, which is now going out to a group of 57 women, which I'm super excited about. The topic was on our children and the power of our words towards our children. And this is something that I believe Leslie and I are both extremely, extremely passionate about. So we're going to try to keep this locked down, but get our point across as quickly as possible. And we do want to preface everything by saying we are not experts. We are not licensed anything. We are mamas. We are wives. We are God's girls, and we believe with all our hearts that He's given us a message to share, and that's what we're doing. So I want to start by reading a piece of scripture, which I know we didn't do this before, but we thought this was a pretty powerful piece of scripture, and we should share, which is Proverbs 12:18. And it says, "Reckless words pierce like a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing." Wow. For me, well, Leslie, I'll let you go ahead and you speak to what's on your heart. What's on your heart about this topic?
We're going to talk about children first,
Yeah,
right?
today we're going to talk about kids.
You and I have had many discussions about kids becoming what they hear. Mm-hmm. And that scripture, I think, kind of intertwines with that. Mm-hmm. If your kid is constantly told, even, you're silly, you're stupid, you're getting on my nerves. That's a big one that I hear all the time. It drives me nuts. They're going to become that. That becomes literally what they are. Mm-hmm. You see your kid acting out and lashing out, and you're thinking, why? That's why.
You're such a brat.
Yes. You tell them that that's what they are, they're going to become that. And I just... It breaks my heart. It really does. It really breaks my heart.
I think what our society is lacking is a clear understanding of the conscious and subconscious mind. Because our conscious mind, I told Leslie yesterday, we were kind of sitting here chatting about a lot of things. And I told her that, our conscious mind is aware of today. It's aware right now. It's here with us. It's aware of this video and things, right here, right now. It's what we see, hear, smell, it's today, this moment. Our subconscious mind is completely different, and it is always acting, always absorbing, and always impacting our lives when we don't realize it. So it's the part of the brain that remembers smell and remembers, and I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I'm just saying, because I will not say this in the right verbiage for it to get across to everybody. But our subconscious mind is what we feed constantly in our everyday lives. And when we surround ourselves with things like music, people that use certain languages and things like that, when we are constantly surrounding ourselves with things that are feeding our subconscious mind, before we know it, we're acting like what we've heard and like what we've seen and what we've been around. And if people are honest with themselves, you can look back at stages of your life, and whatever you surrounded yourself with at that point in time, that's a weed eater.
Yeah.
My
yard is getting mowed.
Somebody's busy, so I'm sorry about that. I'm like, I wonder if they hear that. Sorry about that. Gotta do work.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk as loud as I can and hope that it takes that over. So, if you look back in your past, you will be able to identify moments in your life where you were doing maybe something or talking in a way that you don't maybe talk now, because you were surrounding yourself with things like that. For example, I worked in a factory for 5 years, and I am not proud of this, but in that moment of my life, I was very lost, and I was a very influenced young lady. So where I thought I had it all together and I'm a mom and I've got it all together, I was constantly using really bad language, not knowing that it was just around me everywhere I went. And before I knew it, I'm dropping F-bombs in front of my kids, and they're going, "Whoa, where'd that come from, Mom?" And it wasn't me. That wasn't who I was. I was never that type of person. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's not something I want in my life. And I don't like it. I don't feel it's necessary to articulate myself in that way. But at that point in my life, I did. So when we're talking to our children and we're constantly telling them what they are in the negative moments of their life, the mistakes that they've made, and we remind them about it all the time, they start to just believe that's who they are. So, for example, if a child is constantly being told that they're lazy versus, I believe in you, you have the ability to do these things, and I know right now you're not motivated to do that, but it's in you. So let's get motivated. I need your help. Please get up and help me. There are different ways to get your message across without attacking and lashing out at a child. Because eventually they will become what they think you think they are. And I hope that makes sense, because we know that moms don't believe, like, no, I don't believe that that's my child. My child's not lazy. He's just lazy right now. In this moment, he's being lazy. But if you say that 10 times a day, but never take a minute to say, you know what, you're a hard worker. You're a hard worker. I am proud of you. You make me proud. Because then they want to live up to that. They seek it because it felt good. They're like, oh, wait a minute. My mom just made me feel pretty good about myself. And what was I doing in that moment that I felt good? How can I do more of that and make her say that more? And I will tell you from personal experience, in the last 2 years, I've completely changed the way I talk to my children. Completely changed the way I talk to my children, because I was that mom. And if you read the newsletter this week, I was that mom. I was in a messy place, a very messy place, in the middle of divorce, and living back at home with my mom. And I love my parents very much for accepting me back in their home to get my life straightened out and all that good stuff. But that wasn't where I ever expected to be at that age. And I was angry and lost, and my kids kind of took the brunt of that by my words to them. And when I realized the facial expressions of my kids, when I would say certain things to them, and I broke my own heart by causing their behaviors to change towards me, because I would tell them they were brats, and I would tell them that they were disrespectful and rude and irresponsible, you name it,
right?
And I let them know
I think something that we need to remember is we are our kids' hearts. You know, small children especially. You know, I'm a mother of a toddler, and she hangs on every word I say. She absorbs and she feeds off of my attitude and just my overall demeanor. You know what I'm saying? You know, you excuse me, you become something and your children reflect on that. You know what I'm saying? You're angry, your children get cranky and angry. You're happy and bubbly, and your children are in better moods and more compliant. You know, I just think it's something to remember that the attitude that you carry is reflected upon your children, most definitely.
And comes out of them.
Absolutely. If I wake up and I'm all grouchy, Aubrey's going to be the same way. She's going to be, you know.
Yeah. Now, can you think of a time where you've done something where you noticeably saw a change in Aubrey based on something that you said to her?
All the time.
Yeah.
Because
maybe not your mood necessarily,
right,
but just what you said, even if it was out of a good place.
Right.
We'll end on this one, and we're going to come back with a part 2 here.
Right. Aubrey's a very routine child. She always has been. And she constantly needs reassurance. And, I just started back working and her schedule's been kind of weird. And sometimes I have to tell myself, I have to stop, just give her a little hug and say, Mommy loves you. And just that reassurance. And she kind of snaps back into Aubrey,
Right.
Because she kind of hits a wall every once in a while when something's different. And it's all the time.
Right.
All the time.
Right. Okay. And we're going to be back. We're going to cut this into a part 2 so that you can watch in segments throughout your day, so you don't feel like you're just hooked to one video for 40 minutes. Okay. So thanks, and we hope you come back for part 2.